Hello, welcome to today's webinar. We're going to have a little look at the Learner view and the different menus within the system. Okay, so by now you've already got your link and you would have set your site up. So just log back in using your username and password. Okay, so I previously showed you before these menus and how to set up your system. So obviously, as I said before, you can go into your learners and click into your learner view, not a problem. But this learners menu on the left-hand side, which I haven't previously shown you, this will just give you a more advanced search on the system, okay? So what you can do is you can go in there, you can change it to learners I assess. You can also look for active, completed test learners and so forth. But obviously I'm gonna keep it to active today. And you can also then look for specific people at a specific company, people on a specific course, or you can just literally click search and that'll give you all your learners on your caseload. Okay, excuse me. So what have we got? We've got, so that's the name of the learner. These are the courses they're doing. Because I changed my settings to go by learner rather than course, it's showing me the learner and all their courses they're doing. So in the red writing is literally the course they're on. Then these are all the units they're doing. So anything which is grey is not started. Anything which is blue is started. If it then gets completed and signed off by the talent coach, it will go green. Then if the IQA comes in and verifies it, it will go pink. And then if it gets referred or needs actions, it will go orange. Now you don't need to remember that because a little key code up by here, which the status tells you what that is. Okay. The middle column is the RAG rating. So RAG is red, amber, and green. So red is obviously behind target, amber is a little bit behind target but can catch up, and green is on target. So you can change that, so I'll show you how to change that shortly. We also got the progression bars. So the progression bars, very simply, so the expected progression is rated on the date. So if a learner's on the program for a year, halfway through, you'd expect them to be 50% and so forth and so forth. We've also got the completed progression. So the completed progression is when the assessor signs off the tasks. So once they complete a task, it'll sign off and then that will go into a green status, and then the completed progression will go up accordingly, okay? But if the learner's got 40 tasks, for example, and they do one task, it'll be a percentage of that. Then we've also got started. So as soon as a learner starts a unit, that's a more holistic approach, then that percentage will go up straight away. As you can see, learners have started like 5 units, then some work towards it, so the percentage is 6%. Just because they haven't signed anything off, there is still progress. So I've taken into consideration that. We've got some action buttons on the right-hand side then. So that is an edit comment box where you can make a comment about the learner for the IQA. So people tend to record learning needs and learning difficulties in there. Okay, and then what have we got? We then got this button here which shows how many evidence uploads since you last visited. So if a learner submitted 3 or 4 pieces of evidence since you've last been in there, it'll have a number 4 next to it. So you can see how many areas on there. That one is how many diary entries. So diary entry gets recorded when something happens. So this will be like an IQA or something. So if an IQA happens, you'll just see. So if they do 2, it'll be the 2 in there. It'll be 1, it'll be 1 there, and so forth. Okay, and that just got you some stats on the learner. But let's go into the learner first then. So if I click on the learner's name, okay, so this will take me into the overview. So it tells me what courses they're doing, how many units in total, and different things like that. This is where you can set the RAG. So if I click on the RAG button for next to the level 3, as you can see, I've changed it previously. It shows me the different changes I've made and when I made them. But if I just hit the green button, for example, it will change it to green and it'll track that I've made that change recently. Okay, so and you can change the RAG per course. Okay, so if I then click onto the course, this will take me actually into the actual course. Okay, so I'm on the level 3 diploma for managers. So you can see that nice and straightforward. And then what we've got then is name of learner, assessor name, and verifier. You've got some started and completely expected. We've got some buttons at the top here. Course snapshot. This is a complete snapshot of the entire qualification. So what you can do is just print it off and away you go. You've then got unit selection. This is where if you had optional units to choose, you could pick them. I don't think you do that too much, but if there was, you can pick them from there. We've also got the Assessor declaration button. So this will be if you're signing off. If you're signing off, the whole qualification is complete. You hit the Assessor declaration, it'll just confirm that you've done that. You've got an Assessor guidance button as well. This Assessor guidance is just like the link to the handbook. So it's the overall handbook from ILM, for example, or from whatever the course is held. You've also got a learner PDR section. So the learner PDR section is where a learner can keep up to date with their occupational competence. And what you can do is just update it as and when accordingly from there. Learners don't tend to do that too much, but if you need to, you could see that. But it's not set up in your system. It's just basically you keeping your own occupational competence. So what you've got is the started, completed, and expected. So it's quite a visual thing. So the first thing you've got on the menus is your course menu. The course menu is the unit or the learning outcomes and all the tasks. So you can see unit 304 there, okay, unit 305 and so forth. If I go a bit further down, because I've set deadlines before, so if I go to 308, you can see that they've got these different learning outcomes, okay? So if I wanted to set a deadline to have all these completed by a certain date, there's a set deadline button here, and I can very simply put that on there and ask them to be completed by the 31st of August, click set deadline, and that will update them all individually to the 31st of August. You can see that all for them, that'll be pushed through to the learner and the 31st of August. If you want to do it more specifically, so you want to maybe do each learner outcome at a different date because to give them more chance maybe. So if you go to 309.1, click set deadline, go there and say, right, I'm going to complete that one for 25th of July. That's okay. Then there's a button up here to take you to the second learning outcome because I'm on 309.1, 309.2. I can then go into set deadline and make that a different date. If I go back into my course folder, as you can see previously, 308, 31st of August, all of them, that's fine. You can also update it as well to give the learner, so you can give it, more, remove deadline or set a different one. But you can see this one, 309, 25th of July is the first one, 22nd of August is the next one. What you could then do is set an overall one for September. Don't update the initial ones. So then what you're saying is them individual ones have to be done by a certain date, but the overall has to be done by the 26th. So that's a way of setting your deadlines. Okay. If you want to look at previous work for the learner, what you can see is learner's unit's gone blue, so that suggests there's work in it. You can see then total docs 3. So if I click into 304.1, you will see then that there's work and I can click into them. Okay. But if you want to look at it overall, if I click on the evidence folder by here, this will give me a list of all the different evidence. Okay. Now we do have a showcase evidence. So if you feel a learner's done a good piece of work on the evidence folder, what you can do is click on the star and lock it down. That just locks it. As you work through the portfolio, you might do 7, 8, 10 of them. But at the end of the portfolio, then you can click download showcase, and that will download all the maybe the better pieces of the learner's portfolio, and then you've got the ability to upload that to the EPA portal if that's what you need to do for that particular course. Okay. You'll see then it tells you who uploads the work, what type of evidence it is, and you can edit it and whatnot. I won't go into that just yet. We've got the registration tab. This will just give you the personal details of the learner, so their names, their address, contact numbers, and so forth. The contact diary. So when you record anything like an assessment feedback, IQA feedback, it automatically goes into here as one big log. So you can see, well done, excellent work, please redo question 4, attended, well done, supported learner, and then any IQA feedback goes in here as well. So this just gives you a bit of a log of everything that's happened over the duration of the portfolio. Okay. We've got course metrics, which I'll cover later on. And then we've also got the Journey tab. So the Journey tab is where this just gives you an overview of the whole portfolio again. So this just gives you how many total units, how many started, how many completed, and then how many are verified. It gives you how many logins the learners had, and how many times they logged in as well, okay? And then it just gives you who's uploaded evidence and what they've done. And again, the contact diary is on there as well, okay? So that will be that as well, okay? So that's the learner view. So the course is the main one because that's where all the work is and where it's being referenced against it, okay? And that's where you can set your deadlines. Your evidence is where all the folders, all the evidence is kept, and you've got your registration, your contact, and so forth. What you'll do, if you click on the learner's name, this will give you all their different courses. So you normally have their main course, you have the induction, which will show your prevent and things. You might have a review course as well, which are the individual reviews that the learners submitted to you as well. Okay, so that's just a set up the learner. Again, the biggest thing I'll say to you is just use the system, have a play, and have a look at the different menus. Okay, thanks very much for listening.